Christina Universe Citizen presents New Era Religion, Episode 84, Part 1, July 14, 2022. We cannot improve on the center. Awareness of the omnirational universe's generalized conceptioning field induces systemic thoughts, omnicomprehensive considerations to anticipate a different reality basis from what becomes more erratic despite the bright minds in academia who fall prey to the deception as participant enabling co-authoring constituents. The co-authoring constituents unwittingly enable the PRJWBCS politics, religion, justice, war, belief complex schemes to undermine what could have taken the synergetic paths during the 1980s. But academia did not accredit our Buckminster Fuller and his discovery of nature's coordinate system, which coincides with Synergetics Cosmic Hierarchy, the isotropic vector matrix, an operational field complex. Granted that our lay perspectives barely grasps the importance of the synergetics equanimity model, especially concerning where energy and synergy are integrals of knowledgeable conservation and intertransforming generalized environmental fields correlating to clarity and freedoms that accurately describe humans of a mind by design. To articulate the comprehensively coherent knowledge takes practice that involves writing and researching salient information characteristics that are made known from topology and geometry, not from more politics as but one comparison. Politics permits people to take inaccurate positions that do not exist in principle, like center-left or center-right, while no awareness of the centers of equilibrious symmetry, centers of omni-equilibrious symmetry, center of gravity, center of radiation, center of field, center of volume, center of energy rebirths. See Synergetic Index C. The centers of an energy rebirth are polyhedral, accommodated by the isotropic vector matrix. Since we cannot improve on the center because it is where we function in omnidirectional observation, what continues to compel politically induced false accreditation to center-left and or center-right? Do such political purposes always supersede the omnirational alternatives wherever and whenever humans could otherwise function as omnirational coexisting constituents? Omnirational individuals who recognize the inherently inviolable integrity of the individual exist among millions and billions of Earth's human populations. Is the political purpose always further to delay recognizing the potential realization of a true democracy and the inherent freedoms that are integrals to systemic thought's generalized conceptioning field? You'd think each of us has all the time in the world, and not just so many precious lifetime days and nights to live on Earth. You'd think, awaiting the next election and voting cycle in 2- and 4-year periods for ousting out and replacing the political schemers with yet another inherent, predominantly asymmetrically oriented mentality is what humans are alive to achieve, giving a rebirth to the crux of debating issues that initiated from irresolute conundrums, expects the seemingly unquestioned authority of academia to be the decisive expertise, and eventuates increasing the tolerance magnitudes of the residual inaccuracies of observation and or articulation. Anyway, this virtually, technically, literally lands the co-authors back to square one, minus relevant iotas of comprehensive differentiations. It is where universe's energy quanta, that are integrals of energy conservation, when factored into the design science projections of an omnicomprehensive reality, are factored out, if known about at all. As a reenacting result, the interim debates are exhausting and made more intolerably by pundits and who knows what false identities can infiltrate the social media internet working environments. It is whenever universe's generalized conceptioning is unknown, as expertise accreditation is given to academia for supposedly tipping the scales to balance the perpetually unbalanced profusion. More confusion sets in when no such irrationally induced conspiratorial codes and slave mentality conditioning exist in nature. In Synergetics, we learn of a conceptual model of nature's constant relative abundance, which happens to be the conceptuality of the tetrahedron polyvertexia, a polyhedron. With the tetrahedron's eternal integrity patterning in mind, metaphysical generalized conceptioning field of thought, human intellection, and one's individually, consciously, knowledgeable, competently inclined curiosity employs, human imagination more discreetly and directly, to observe human events as multifariously contrived reenacting aspects of the tolerance magnitude's residual inaccuracies. Those inaccuracies are at play throughout the sociological-political manifest conditions. They result as self-perpetuating exacerbations, as factions of inevitable debating interrelationships in episodes of scenario universe, supposedly emanating from an expected academic ground of being, as if there was never the design of us in generalized principle for our humanity's potential recognition of the geometric models, one of which is the vector equilibrium, Synergetics' model of exact balance. Instead, we are outnumbered by artificial technological ploys that intend controlling free speech and all else that more intelligently can be anticipated from a true democracy that references are Buckminster Fuller's Synergetics. Awareness of Synergetics' models recognizes contradictions to intuition's truth-seeking, truth-loving self-assurance. The self-assurance closely associates TLBSWME, truth, love, beauty, symmetry, wisdom, maximum economy, with conceptualities of universe's general systems to which the individual's awareness of the generalized environment gives credit to its own anticipatory design science correlatively to realities that have yet to occur. It is not a prescience in any predictable forewarning, but logically, when we admit that humans of a mind, our intelligent evolution species, is designed in principle by the eternal omniscient mind, Yom, then we barely have begun to demonstrate our incredible evolution capability to restore and reintegrate timeless zero-phase unity. Not having initiated unity in any referential generalized conceptioning field, how can humans of a mind, our humanity, accredit the inherent capability to integrate and reintegrate unity? We must have a model in mind, in metaphysical generalized conceptioning field of thought, that does not contradict the minimum thinkable sets, topological characteristics, and geodesic lines for geometrically describing universe's minimum structural system. As a rudimentary assurance of logical attributions, contrary to illogical algorithms, it is inconceivable that the eternal omniscient mind's deliberated design of the human species is to thwart the very evolution of us. as an incompatibility with the environmental nature integral to life support and where the mind of it derives in generalized principle. But oddly enough, humans are innovative and inventively prone by so many variations of what the imagination portends. Its anticipatory thought settles into a type of wishful thinking. Wishful thinking can be authorized by those whose cogitations intend profiting by fear engendering, and who practice the art of self-deception to elaborate extremes. To be continued in episode 85, part 2.